My cat Freddie loves to be brushed and cuddled. But stirring up his cat allergens meant sneezing and itchy eyes. Then I found Purina One Live Clear. It's cat food that reduced the major allergen and my suffering in as little as 21 days. Now, we feel closer than ever. If you have issues with cat allergens, you really need to try Purina One Live Clear.
Try new Purina One Live Clear today. Purina One, a difference from day one.
This is The Other Side of Midnight with Frank Morano.
They're running a strange program, y'all.
Now, here's Frank Morano.
I'm waking up. I'm waking up.
I've been running for Jesus for a mighty long time. Oh, I've been running for Jesus for a long time. I've been running for Jesus for a mighty long time. I'm not tired. Oh, no.
I'm waking up.
Oh, no.
I'm waking up.
Well, I've been running for Jesus for a mighty long time. The reason you see me doing this, I got Jesus on my mind. When you see me praying.
Good morrow, everybody. This is The Other Side of Midnight. I'm Frank Morano, and I am very, very pleased to officially end my work week and start my weekend by being accompanied by the one and only Fred Rubino. Fred Rubino is a comedian. He is a regular contributor to this show. I got to be careful with that title because last time I used it with Brian Kilmeade, all of a sudden he wanted to get paid. The guy's been coming on for 2.5 years, 3 years, hasn't asked to get paid once. I called him a contributor. All of a sudden he wants to get paid. Hopefully Fred Rubino will not make the same mistake. Hello, Fred.
How much money are we talking about here?
Yeah, we will see. It'll be interesting.
It's great to be here.
It's great to have you here, Fred. One thing I didn't get to mention earlier, and I thought more people were going to call in during Ask Frank Anything, asking about it, but no one did, that I recall anyway, is Robert F. Kennedy Jr. got confirmed yesterday. This is really one of those things that was just against all odds. It looked like he had everything going against him. You know, he's got these whacked out views on, and I'm not making a value judgment, but that's a perception. He's got these whacked out views on vaccines that liberals hate. He's got these whacked out views on food, very similar to Michelle Obama, that conservatives hate. He's going against the two biggest industries, non-defense related industries in the country, big food and big pharma. He's the Republicans control the Senate. His whole life, he's been a pro-choice Democrat. And you'd think, on top of that, he has a pseudo-sex scandal that breaks right before his nomination.
Who doesn't?
And yet he's able to pull this off. I mean, this is extraordinary. I mean, forgetting about whether he should be HHS secretary or not, I happen to think he should. But just the fact that he was able to pull this off, you got to give the guy some credit.
I'm shocked that a Kennedy has been appointed to the most right-wing president we've had in 100 years. I mean, if I would have told you a Kennedy is going to be a Republican pick, you would say it's insane.
I honestly think that I know that's the perception because Trump is tough and he's kind of gruff and temperamentally he's kind of rough and all sorts of other things that rhyme with uff. But I think that I don't think Trump is that right wing. I really don't. I mean, I think I view him as kind of more of a pragmatic populist. You know, like he goes along with what the Vox Populi want.
I agree. Look, he's got two of the biggest Democrats. He's got a Kennedy and Tulsi Gabbard ran for president in the Democratic side. So he's just out for America, and that's the greatest thing. But, you know, when you say that Kennedy has all these crazy ideas. I used to think that too, because everything I heard about Kennedy was through the news. But then you hear he's saying all these things that make sense.
Yeah, and the best is when people come and attack him as, well, he doesn't have any healthcare experience. Now, that didn't stop the last HHS secretary, or the one before that,
He had nice hair, the other guy. He was a transgender.
No.
What about him?
Everyone thinks that Rachel Levine was the HHS secretary, but she was not. It was, Javier Becerra.
Javier,
who was a senator from California.
Javier laid low. If no one knows who
that's
he
right.
is.
That's right.
Let me lay low.
It's not like we were putting together the country after a pandemic or anything.
There's just been the worst pandemic in 100 years. Let me lay low until this whole thing blows over.
Yeah.
I like that about Javier.
Exactly.
That's the way I would do it.
Exactly. But it is what it is. Hey, so RFK Jr. was on the Ingram angle on the Fox News channel yesterday. This was his debut interview. Could have done it with me, the one radio talk show host that actually supported his presidential campaign, but that's okay. He was on with Laura Ingram on the Fox News channel, and he's talking about people that should be removed from the government.
You have a list of people that you already know need to be removed and quickly?
I have a list in my head, and you know, we have a generic list of the kind of people that, you know, if you've been involved in good science, you got nothing to worry about. If you care about public health, you got nothing to worry about. If you're in there working for the pharmaceutical industry, then I'd say you should move out and work for the pharmaceutical industry.
And, you know, one of the things apparently he's come out with, which I've been a believer of for a long time, is he wants a later school start time so that kids get more sleep.
I love that.
Good idea?
I love that. I prayed for that my whole life going to school. You know, getting up at 6 a.m. to get up to get to school. In high school, that's what I had to do. Fantastic idea.
Where'd you go to high school?
I went to Nazareth Regional High School in Canarsie.
What kind of school is that? Is it a public school?
It's a Catholic
school. Is it still there?
I don't know. Catholic schools come and go.
By the way, do you ever encounter these guys that are just obsessed with their high schools?
Yes.
Where I live, everyone else treats their high school like a high school. You know, you graduate and, okay, you're done.
Right.
There's one school. It's a Catholic school. It's a boys' Catholic school. Nothing against the school, right? It's a boys' Catholic school. The people that graduate from this school they're, and I say this with all due respect, they're like members of a cult. You have 55, 60-year-old men who are still obsessed with everything about this particular school. They still hang out with all the same people from high school. They all go to the same events. There's alumni events. There's fundraising events. There's so much pride, which is great, but it's a little weird.
It's creepy.
It's a little bit creepy.
Yeah, you know what? When I went to high school, I didn't have fun in high school. I hated high school. So afterwards, I didn't want to get together with anybody. But it seems like you didn't have an adult life if you're still looking back at high school.
You know, and again, a lot of these guys are very successful. And I liked my high school, but I don't know, when it was over, I just kind of went on with the next stage of my life.
Now they have these this app. It's like classmates.com, and you're in. And I had that. And I have all these guys like, hey, remember me? Hey, let's get together. I'm like, I don't remember you. Or I do, and I say, I talked to you twice in 4 years. Why would I want to get together with you? Oh, we were on the track team. Yeah, you sucked. I told the coach to throw you off the team. Now we want to get together?
You were on the track team?
I was. I was great. I was a track star.
Were you?
In freshman year, they gave me my letter, which no one has ever gotten until the end of sophomore year. And then I said, I'm quitting because I want to hang out in the schoolyard and smoke marijuana all day.
That sounds like a good decision.
It was a good decision.
Hey, by the way, obviously you're a comedian, and people could check you out at fredrubino.com, your comedic stylings and so forth. There is Sunday, the Saturday Night Live 50th anniversary special.
Yeah.
Are you going to watch it?
Absolutely. Big fan of Saturday Night Live.
Still?
Well, it comes and goes. You know, they have their great years and their bad years. Yeah, it's like a sports team.
What do you think was peak SNL?
Peak SNL, I would have to say Eddie Murphy. But I did love Norm Macdonald.
Oh, he was great. He got fired.
Fired for making fun of O.J. relentlessly.
Can you imagine? Yeah, that Don Omeyer did not like him.
You know, everybody thinks O.J. killed somebody. A couple of people.
2 people, yeah.
Well, one was
At
a
least.
waiter.
Right, exactly.
So 1.5 people. So, and, he made fun of that. You would think that's the safest person. It's not like you made fun of, like,
Mother Teresa.
Mother Teresa, right. Who wasn't really a mother. That's a conspiracy in itself. So you would think that would be the safest thing. And if you listen to him, he was saying he was warned consistently not to make fun of OJ. Who was telling you not to make fun of OJ?
Well, Don Omeyer was OJ's buddy from their days doing Monday Night Football and everything else.
Right.
So he was in charge.
Come on. It's
that's fair
Saturday
game.
Night Live.
That's fair game.
And it's Norm.
Yeah. All right, so you're going to watch?
I'm definitely going to watch. I love Dana. I hope they bring all the people on. You know, Dana Carvey, all those people.
Yeah, well, I think there's going to be a good crowd. We'll see how it goes. I'm gonna try and watch as well. I have such a weird sleep schedule. Who knows? All right, 646-720-0635 if you want to join Fred Rubino and me. Fred has all his appearances on fredrubino.com. What did we have a huge listening audience right now on WGN in Chicago. What did you tell me you're doing in Chicago?
March 29th, I will be at Club Honesty. It's the Arcadia Theater in Chicago, right outside of Chicago. And it's going to be it's a dinner show. It's an old Chicago speakeasy.
Yeah, I think that sounds phenomenal.
Oh.
It's March 29th?
March 29th. You go up in the elevator. They open up the bookshelf for you, and you go in, and there's a great bar, and there's all kinds of nostalgic things. It's very good.
It sounds great. Have you been out there before?
I did. I think I did this club 4 or 5 times already. And the guy who owns the club and runs the whole theater is a big Italian-American civil rights leader in Chicago.
Oh, interesting.
And he loves my stuff, and he lets me do whatever I want.
All right. Well, that should be a lot of fun. So that's March
29th.
March 29th.
He makes great meatballs, too.
Really?
Yes.
All right. Well, I might be up for going out to one of your next Chicago appearances.
There you go.
I can't make March 29th, but maybe the one after that. All right, I got to ask you about this. There's been a lot in the news with respect to airline problems, right?
Yes.
We saw what happened in D.C. We saw what happened in Philadelphia. It's just every week it seems like there's something going on. Alaska, even. There was a flight passenger who has ignited this debate after being told to climb over the seatmate for a bathroom break. You know, this is very similar to that scene in Seinfeld where Elaine is seated next to this kind of heavyset guy that was sleeping, and she has to go to the bathroom, and she's debating whether or not to wake him or not. But a Reddit user, and whenever there's these Reddit stories, I'll be honest, I have a tough time believing how many of them are true. I kind of think people just put stuff up there. Now, I'm not averse to that because there's still good talk topics.
It's like the Penthouse magazine when you read the stories. Exactly. Everybody banged their high school teacher.
Exactly,
Come on.
Right. So a Reddit user recently posted about how taking a bathroom break became an issue, writing, okay, so what's the protocol when you need to get up and you're in the seat? And the post was subsequent to an apparent incident with an aisle seatmate with a potty response. The traveler chronicled the dilemma and shared how they needed to exit the row in order to take a mid-flight bathroom break. A passenger sitting in the window seat of a flight was told to climb over fellow passengers after one flyer refused to step in the aisle and allow the person to exit the row. What is your take on this? What's the proper protocol here?
I fly frequently, and when I am on the aisle and I sleep, wake me up. Do not what makes you think the 2 inches between my knees and the seat in front of me is enough room for you to squeeze by without. You're going to wake me up anyway, so just wake me up.
Exactly.
And also, let's not forget one thing. If I'm sitting there, usually when you skate by or when you squeeze, you're either your ass or your genitalia is 2 inches from my face. So that alone, I don't want, especially on a plane. There's a time and a place for that.
Everything about flying is just terrible. It's just the most undignified.
It is undignified.
Dehumanizing experience there, unless you're flying first class.
Which I never do.
Have you ever?
Never.
Never. Yeah.
And I could, because there's some gigs, like the Chicago gig, the guy pays for me to fly out there. So I could tell him, hey, this is what it costs. But a lot of times when they fly me out, Wisconsin does it, Minnesota does it, I just feel obligated to take the cheapest flight I can.
Yeah,
because
I
I
hear
appreciate
that.
it.
Right, well, that
and
is
I
nice.
regret it every time.
Yeah. No. The next time somebody offers to fly me out first class, I am taking.
Oh, I would take
them
it
up
too.
on that.
Yeah.
Not that I'm anticipating many offers, but we'll see.
Well.
All right. 646-720-0635. Fred Rubino is here. We will continue with his take, his rather irreverent take on the world at large. Straight ahead.
The Other Side of Midnight with Frank Morano.
This episode is brought to you by Loom by Atlassian. Are you feeling stuck at work? Get your team unstuck with Loom video messaging and move work forward. Use Loom to simultaneously record both your screen and yourself to share a quick update, provide feedback, train a colleague, and everything in between. Plus, add Loom AI to your meetings for instant written notes and recordings. Try Loom today at Loom.com. That's LOOM.com.
This episode is brought to you by Chevrolet. When you have 4 new tires, every drive feels fresh. Right now, buy 3 select tires and get 1 for just $1 during the Chevrolet Certified Service Fresh Start Tire event. Visit Chevrolet.com/service offers or see dealer for full details. At participating U.S. GM dealers only, highest or equal value tire will be $1. Offer ends 5/31/2025. Not available with other offers.
Last week was our first playoff game, and my plaque psoriasis was so itchy under all my gear. Sometimes just thinking about scratching could take me out of the moment. And then my doctor told me I could get clearer skin with a pill called Otezla.
Otezla apremilast is a prescription medicine used to treat adult patients with plaque psoriasis for whom phototherapy or systemic therapy is appropriate. Otezla can help you get clearer skin after just 4 months.
Okay, ready for the next game. Talking to my doctor about a pill was a total game changer.
Don't use Otezla if you're allergic to it. Get medical help right away if you have trouble breathing or swallowing, swelling of the face, lips, tongue, throat, or arms. Severe diarrhea, nausea or vomiting, depression, suicidal thoughts, or weight loss can happen. Tell your doctor if any of these occur and if you have a history of depression or suicidal thoughts. Live in the moment. Ask your doctor about Otezla. Call 1-844-4-OTEZLA or visit Otezla.com for prescribing info about cost, and more.
This podcast is supported by Progressive, a leader in RV insurance. RVs are for sharing adventures with family, friends, and even your pets. So if you bring your cats and dogs along for the ride, you'll want Progressive RV insurance. They protect your cats and dogs like family by offering up to $1,000 in optional coverage for vet bills in case of an RV accident, making it a great companion for the responsible pet owner who loves to travel. See Progressive's other benefits and more when you quote RV insurance at Progressive.com today. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Pet injury is an additional coverage and subject to policy terms.
It's The Other Side of Midnight with Frank Morano.
What's the matter, Ralph? Alice, mother in town?
Exactly, pal, and she's the worst by far.
I say she ain't as bad as mine.
Hardy,
This is the Honeymooners rap. This is Joe Piscopo and Eddie Murphy as Norton and Ralph Cramden in their version of The Honeymoon is Wrapped. Joe is very proud of this, and I can understand why.
Is he going to be in the reunion?
I believe he's going to be there.
Has
I
to.
don't know if he's going to be in a sketch. They're very hush hush mush mush about, but he's gonna be there. You'll see him. I don't know if he's going to be doing anything.
Oh, I would love to see him do at least one sketch.
You know, the problem with Joe is, and I'm not saying anything that I don't think people don't know, is so Lorne Michaels was the head of Saturday Night Live, right? And then he leaves. Now, that's not unusual. People leave shows all the time. And then Joe and Eddie were there when Lorne Michaels was gone.
Right.
And then Lorne Michaels comes back, right? And they're not there anymore. So they're really part of that, the only era in the history of Saturday Night Live that Lorne Michaels had nothing to do with. So now, who's in charge of producing the SNL 50? Lorne Michaels.
Lorne Michaels.
So do you think he's going to showcase the stars of the era that he had nothing to do with, or is he going to use it as an opportunity to show all of the people that, you know, for the 80% of the history of Saturday Night Live he was responsible for?
It sounds like he's bitter. He could be bitter.
I think Lorne is a strange guy. I really do.
I think so too.
Because Joe is he started the original producer at Saturday Night Live when he started there. Piscopo and Gilbert Gottfried was Jean Domanian, and she apparently did not, for whatever. I'm not blaming her because they also cut the budget and did some other things. She didn't exactly kill it as the producer of Saturday Night Live, but then they brought in Dick Ebersol to be the producer of Saturday Night Live, and he did great, and the show really started to take off. But then they bring Lorne Michaels back, and then. Joe's always kind of that like bastard stepchild. They don't show any of those shows in reruns.
Yeah, I've never seen a rerun with that.
And they don't let them play in a lot of the reindeer games. And then
sounds personal now.
I think it is. Honestly.
I think when Joe goes back, when he does that, he should give him a little jab.
Yeah,
what do you got to lose?
Joe is not giving Lorne Michaels a jab. He will not speak critically of Lorne Michaels at all. I remember at the SNL 40, they had this great. I wasn't there, but I heard about it. They had this great after party. And everybody that was there, both the celebrities and the cast members, they all went to this after party. So you had included guys like Bradley Cooper and Taylor Swift and really big stars.
Oh, yeah.
And so Jimmy Fallon, who's very much a part of Team Lorne.
Of course.
He calls Joe Piscopo up to do a duet of the two of them because, Fallon is a very talented impressionist, as you know.
Yes.
They do a duet as Bruce Springsteen doing Pink Cadillac. And the two of them sang as Bruce Springsteen, Pink Cadillac. It was great. I've seen the recording. It was great. And they actually sound better than Bruce does, in my opinion.
Yeah. I don't like Bruce Springsteen.
I know people are very divided on the Bruce question. So anyway, Joe then goes to greet Lorne and say as he's leaving, as Joe is leaving, get ready to come to work because he was doing a morning radio show at the time, 10 years ago, and he says to Lorne, I just really want to thank you for inviting me and having me here. And I said, oh, well, that's nice. I said, was Lorne nice? And he says, no.
What did he say? I didn't invite you. Fallon
No, it was
did.
something. No, it was something like that. It was he was non-committal. It was he didn't even say thank you. It was just very good, Joe, or something like that. He was
very
totally
un-Jersey of Joe.
Yeah.
Joe should let that jersey out, but he's such a nice guy.
He is
on the
nice.
Radio and everything.
Yeah, exactly.
Just once, let that jersey leak out.
But it is what it is. All right, 646-720-0635. If you care to comment, 646-720-0635. At 30 minutes after the hour, this is The Other Side of Midnight. All right. In terms of, we're talking about President Trump. We were speaking about President Trump off air. By the way, you're going to the airport to pick up your wife after this?
Yes, 6:30. I think she's landing, or 7.
So 2 hours from now.
Yes.
And where's she coming from?
Newark. Oh, she's coming from Disney in California.
Why not go to Disney in Florida like all the other East Coast people do?
Because we live right next to that. She's a Disney fanatic.
Oh, man. That is the worst.
I am not. In all my family, I'm the only one who's not a fanatic.
My dad and stepmother are like that. They're Disney fanatics.
You know my favorite? When I was in Brooklyn and I would bring the kids to Disney, you know my favorite ride was?
What?
The ride home. The flight home, I was like, wee! I don't get it. I get it when the kids were small. I used to like to enjoy and watch.
So who was she in Disneyland with?
She's with my kid.
Right. And
my daughter.
But your daughter's an adult, right?
Yes.
And how old?
20-something.
And so it's just the two of them?
Yes.
And you didn't have to go?
No, I'm not going. I told her I'm not going.
So
the only way I would go to California if I'm hired and paid to go to California.
How long were they away for?
About 4 days.
That's nothing.
My vacation. That's my beautiful vacation.
That seems to go all the way to the other end of the country. And we have a lot of great listeners in California.
Yes.
But to go all the way to the other end of the country for a 4-day trip seems a little much.
It's fanatical. It's crazy. And I'll have none of it.
Wow.
I don't. And, my daughter used to work at Disney. There's like the college program. And so it's not like she's never experienced Disney. She went almost every year of her life as a kid. And then she worked in Disney. And this is like the third time they've gone. And nope, I will not go.
Disney's fun. I think it's fun if you have,
little kids.
An 8-year-old.
Yes.
It's, I think for adults, and again, my dad disagrees, but for adults, anyway, for me, I'll say, I'm not speaking for anybody myself, it's too clean, okay? Everybody's too nice, it's too expensive, there's too many lines, the rides are not scary enough.
No, they're not. They're childlike.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's a children's amusement park.
Yes.
So
let me tell you something. Coney Island, Brooklyn.
There you go.
The Cyclone.
There you go.
That's entertainment.
You know what? But I go on the Cyclone, and I love it. And the guys that run the Cyclone, they listen to this program from time to time. You really feel like your life is in danger when you're on that ride.
Oh, it is. First of all, going to Coney Island, your life is in danger. The scariest ride is the N train coming into the station. But after that, it's.
Oh, isn't that the W though? Or
no, it is the
N.
N.
It's the N. Okay.
We took the N, and it's rickety. The thing is shaking. Sometimes you get stuck on the top. That's the beauty of it.
Exactly.
That's
what I want in a roller coaster. I really want to feel like there's danger.
Yes, I need to know. The best part of like a ride when you're online and you hear people saying, somebody fell out last week. All right. Now it's a ride.
Exactly. It should be a little bit of a gamble.
Yeah. If everybody's walking off this ride every time, I'll look for another ride.
Right. Exactly. All right. Fred Rubino is here. Anyway, a big week in Trump world. So much gets done in Trump world now that I can't even keep. No, it's my job to keep track of the news. I have if I'm asleep for 4 hours, I have no idea what's going on in the country. It's just
you not wake from up, 1 to 5 though. Those 4 hours.
If you're just tuning in, this is The Other Side of Midnight. I'm Frank Morano. So anyway, now one of the accomplishments of the Biden administration, at least they claim it's an accomplishment, is the CHIPS Act. And look, a lot of Republicans view this in high regard. Wilbur Ross was the Secretary of Commerce in the Trump administration. He helped push for this. And so now, apparently the White House is seeking to renegotiate U.S. CHIPS and Science Act awards, and they've signaled delays to some upcoming semiconductor disbursements. That's according to Reuters. What do we know about this, Fred?
Well, I can tell you what you just touched upon. He's doing so much that now the liberal media are jumping on anything he does to try and get some. Like at first, we're going to get rid of murderers and rapists. And they're like, how do we go against that? You know, we're stopping. Social Security is paying $1 trillion more than they should. How could we do? So now they're looking for stuff. So now this story says that they started negotiate. They are talking about starting negotiations for the CHIP Act. They didn't even start negotiations. They just overheard someone say they might be starting, and we got him. Look at this. There's a rumor he might talk about doing something. That's how great he is. I mean, Biden, there was so much to criticize. They just looking next. I don't know what they're going to pull up next on this guy. There's nothing to pull up. He's doing such a great job.
Well, it's going to be interesting to see where this goes.
And as a comedian, I want him to do something bad so I can make fun of him.
Well, I mean,
a little bit.
Surely, building a resort in Gaza and taking over Greenland, that's got to be some fodder for comedy, right?
Well, I think that's a great idea. If you Trump Tower and right off the Riviera of the Jewish Riviera. How great is that? I hear it's humid. I hear it's very humid.
I can't imagine what would go wrong. It's going to be interesting. Lindsay Shiver is a former beauty queen. She is now accused of plotting her husband's murder, and she is set to be released on bail. Very, very odd story, but apparently she's going to be released from Fox Hill Prison in Nassau. I believe this is up in New Hampshire.
She's a beauty queen, and she's in a place called Fox. She's a fox.
Exactly. Where's she going to live?
There should be prisons for foxy girls.
Yeah, and I mean, those women's prison movies are based in some reality, right?
Well, have you ever seen these women prisoners? They're not exactly foxes.
Yes, actually. So what can you tell us about this Lindsay Shiver story and her attempts to have her husband murdered?
I tell you the problem. They have so many of these true crime shows on now that show women how to kill their husbands.
Right.
What happened to the Hallmark movie? Watch that. And cooking shows. You know what I did? I went into my smart TV when I heard about this, and I looked at the shows my wife is watching during the day. I want to know. It's cooking shows and true crime. So whatever she cooks, I'm eating. If your wife is watching cooking shows and true crime, how to kill, just eat it and do not complain.
Are you worried about bird flu?
I am not.
Why are you not worried about it?
Because I don't know that many birds, and I don't come in contact with birds, and so I'm good.
Well, apparently, there's a new report that suggests more Americans may be walking around with bird flu, and, you ready for this? Not even know it. Researchers from the CDC randomly tested 150 veterinarians for H5N1 or bird flu antibodies, which would indicate if they had a recent infection, and 3 veterinarians specializing in cattle tested positive, according to this study published just yesterday. Your take?
I think this is great news. A disease that you don't even know you have. That means you don't have it. If it's like saying I had cancer and I didn't even know it. No, then you didn't have it. See, I love that this excuse is back. Yeah, I miss the COVID excuse.
Right.
Hey, we're gonna have a wedding in the Bahamas. I got COVID.
No, the best was for a while, and this was maybe only about 6-7 months, but what a 6-7 months, where you didn't even have to say you had COVID. You just had to say you had COVID exposure. Remember that?
I was overly exposed.
No, you encountered somebody was across the street that claimed they were COVID positive. They coughed. Oh, no, can't be there. Sorry.
I miss those
Need the day off. Need the day off.
And now we have it back. Listen, you get a call tomorrow, Curtis Lewa, meet me under the Bayonne Bridge. We're going to put up signs in there. And you go, Curtis, I think I got the bird flu. I'm sorry. I'd love to meet you,
So that is a potent excuse
beautiful.
again these days.
And by the way, didn't they just kill millions of chickens?
Yeah, quite a few chickens, yes.
Because of a flu that doesn't affect humans?
Well, no, a couple of people have this flu. And, there's...
A couple? Oh, listen, unless the people who are raising chickens are all sick from bird flu, you don't have a chance of catching it.
Well, but they say that there's a lot of people that have the flu this year. It's the worst flu epidemic in 15 years. But is it the bird flu? I don't know.
I don't think so. If it's the bird flu and you don't know you have it, then it's not the bird flu. If you're sick, then it's something. It's the other flu.
Even Matt Blaze is not worried about the bird flu.
Matt Blaze isn't?
Yeah, he's not.
I think he is.
He looks worried.
That's why he's in that room on his own. He's sequestered.
Well, that's why I'm not worried. I'm sequestered away from everybody.
Exactly.
How about the people? I'm surprised you're not wearing a mask. The people in the car by themselves, you could infect yourself.
Wearing a gas mask.
I used to tell people that. Go infect yourself, will you?
So, Mayor Eric Adams, he's having an interesting week as well.
He has bird flu?
No, he had something that caused him to retreat from the public for a week. Now it looks like it was a stomach ache. But he is off the hook with these federal charges that he was facing. He was indicted criminally. They were talking about adding more charges, and this is apparently going to go to trial in, I think, May. And now he doesn't have to. Department of Justice files to, release the charges, and he's a free man. He, at least for now, gets to go about his business. What's your take on that?
I think they squeezed him. I think the Trump administration squeezed him, saying we got to clean up New York, and I'll make you a deal. If you let ICE get rid of all these murderers, and if you let us go after Bragg and Letitia, and then we'll get you off the hook. That's politics. Hey, you want to play that game?
It is unusual for him, for anybody, to take an already indicted person and not even make them go to trial.
And these are bad crimes they're talking about.
At least some of them, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, my hat's off to him, I don't think he'll ever win a mayor's race anymore, but who knows? I mean, I like what he did. Now he's playing ball. You notice? First he says, send us everybody. We will put them in hotels. And they're like, you're indicted. We could get you off if you turn. Get rid of those homeless people. I tell you what, he's like the wind. You could bend him anywhere.
All right. So in protest of this Adams situation, the top federal prosecutor in Manhattan resigned yesterday after orders from the Justice Department to drop these corruption charges. Danielle Sassoon had been appointed acting U.S. attorney for the Southern District and just last month. And now two other federal attorneys involved in the case have also resigned, apparently all in protest to the DOJ dropping these charges against Adams. What about this?
What kind of a job do you have that you get so much money that you have that much money you could just say, I resign. I don't like the way you're running things. I resign. I never heard of it. I was an electrician for 40 years. I never went to a building and they said, let's put these lights. I would never put those lights. I resign. I'll rip up my license. What's wrong with people? That's you. Whatever your job is, you do.
You're telling me.
I just resigned.
What is your opinion of halogen bulbs?
Halogen bulbs are, I like the LEDs. The LEDs are the way to go. From now, I don't think there'll be halogen in the future. I think all incandescent, halogen, whatever, mercury bulbs are gonna be gone.
And the compact fluorescent, same thing?
Compact fluorescents are terrible. They're very dangerous.
They're more dangerous than the,
LEDs?
No, not LEDs. Than the halogens?
Halogens, when they break, they just break. They just burn out. And that's it. But the ones that are fluorescent and they look like a little ice cream cone, those things go on fire.
No,
a
I
lot,
hear that. Right. I
which
hear
is
that.
good for a fireman. If that keeps you working, you don't just resign. But those are very dangerous. They will be discontinued in a year or two.
What did you think of the Super Bowl?
I thought the Super Bowl should have been more entertaining. I got in a lot of trouble because when they played I guess it was the Black National Anthem, I went on Facebook and said, "What is this song?" And people went crazy. What do you mean you don't know that song? You know what? If they played an Italian song, if they played the Tarantella, I'm sure half the country wouldn't know that.
I think you're probably right.
But I didn't like the halftime show. I think there should be a new rule. Whatever city, whatever state the Super Bowl is, that's where the entertainment should come from.
Oh, I like that, actually.
Let's highlight there should have been a jazz band, from New Orleans. Wherever it is, you should get local talent. This way we learn about every state's local talent, whatever it is.
I like that a lot. I think that is. I think that's a pretty good
See that?
strategy.
I think I have a spot in the Trump administration.
So I asked because this weekend, in addition to the SNL 50th anniversary thing, there's a couple of other major sporting events. You have the NBA All-Star Game, and you have the NASCAR Cup Series kicking off. Either of those do anything for you?
NASCAR, I don't get it.
What about the NBA All-Star Game?
Nah.
See, same with me.
You know what? I like the NBA. I like to watch the Knicks, but the All-Star game is just a scrimmage game. It's not for real. I don't go for it. And I don't get NASCAR. Maybe because I'm a northerner, but do you get NASCAR?
No, I don't.
You going in a circle?
I don't get it at all. I know people that are into it, love it.
Oh, people are into it. They love it. But you know what? There's not enough Italians.
Is that the problem? Well, what about Mario Andretti? Isn't he a...
Yeah, 80 years ago.
Yeah.
Let's have just an Italian one. The Daytona 500. How about that? All Cadillacs.
So the Jets are parting company with Aaron Rodgers.
Are they? Yes.
Yes.
It's official?
It's official. It's officially official. You think Aaron Rodgers is done?
I think he could go to the Giants, I think he's lost enough in his step.
Still might be
can
too good
fit
for the
right in
Giants.
for the Giants. I think he's great. I would like to see athletes go out with dignity.
Right.
I remember Emmitt Smith went to the Cardinals the last year. He sucked, and it was come on, first of all, you're not hurting for money. You have hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars. Go out on a high note. I don't understand the whole thing.
So speaking of the Super Bowl, there's going to be more than 1 million people who are expected to attend the Eagles Super Bowl parade today.
Oh, my God. Are there enough jails in Pennsylvania for a Super Bowl? Philly is a different kind of city, man. Philly is different. I've been all over. Philly is just different, and it's dangerous, and it's fun. It's a good food town, but you need jails. I remember I used to go to the Cowboys against Philly at the stadium. There was a jail in the stadium.
Wow.
And a judge in the stadium.
My goodness.
I mean, imagine that. What are you in for? What do you think I'm in for? We had a fight in the stands,
Fred Rubino is here. We'll take a quick break, and then we will do a little Ask Frank Anything. 646, not Ask Frank Anything, 15 seconds of fame. 646-720-0635 if you want to comment for 15 seconds. That's 646-720-0635. Straight ahead.
The Other Side of Midnight.
Hi, this is Debbie, your Blinds.com design consultant.
Oh, wow. A real person.
Yep, I am here to help you with everything, from selecting the perfect window treatments to...
Well, I've got a complicated project.
Oh, not a problem. I can even schedule a professional measure and install. We can also send you samples, fast and free.
I just might have to do more.
Oh, okay.
So the first room we're looking at is for guests.
Shop Blinds.com now and get up to 50% off with minimum purchase. Blinds.com. Rules and restrictions may apply.
Your snacking routine can get a little dull. Time for an Oikos Remix. Like a crunchy storm of sea salt praline pretzels, dark chocolate, and butter toffee, showering down into a smooth, creamy yogurt. Enjoy 3 Oikos Remix varieties with epic mix-ins and 11 grams of complete protein per 4.5-ounce serving. See remixyogurt.com.
It's The Other Side of Midnight with Frank Morano.
This is The Other Side of Midnight. This is the late, great Andy B. Doing his rendition of The Other Side of Midnight. You know, we're watching a replay of Anderson Cooper, and they're interviewing these astronauts that are stuck up over at the International Space Station. I gotta say, I haven't seen it with sound, but these astronauts look like they're having a pretty good time, don't they, Fred? I mean, they're all smiles, they're laughing, they're joking around.
I don't know. How many months have they been up there?
They've been up there a while.
Months and months.
Yeah, they've been up there a while. And especially they thought they were only going to be up there for 2 weeks.
Oh, and it's a guy and a girl.
Well, so what about that, right? I don't know. I think they're both married or at least in committed relationships. You think anything happens up there between the two of them?
Probably.
Right?
It has to be. Don't you want to have weightless sex?
I don't know the mechanics of how that would work.
Me neither, but it sounds fine. But I think that's why I've never seen like a good-looking astronaut.
Uh-huh.
So I think that's why they do it. So if you want weightless sex, your standards have to come way down to do it.
So, I mean, honestly, like if they were stuck on a desert island together, eventually either it would be not a function of if, but when the two of them would pair off somehow, right?
Right.
But this is almost even more isolating than a desert island. I mean, I know they have other people that may be up on the International Space Station, but they're stuck in close proximity with one another, 24 hours a day. I got to think something's going on, right?
Is there like a lingerie spacesuit?
I don't think so.
See, that's what they should have.
See,
this is what I think
if
about.
If Trump is listening, he may make that change over at NASA right away. I mean, that might be an issue for Doge. They could save money on space.
And by the way, not enough Italian astronauts. None.
There are no Italian astronauts?
I haven't seen any.
I don't think that's true. I feel like I interviewed Charles Camarda. Charles Camarda.
Just the fact that you know his name means there was only one. What, does he have the sleeves cut off of his spacesuit?
He's he holds all sorts of patents. He's an engineer, very bright guy, PhD.
I'm sure he is.
Yeah, but
I'm not disparaging, but I think there should be more. I think it's the food. That's why Italians shy off.
I could see that.
There's no veal parmesan in the tube up there.
Would you now that space flight is a little bit more viable, right? Would you ever want to go to space? Let's say you had an opportunity on Blue Origin, for instance.
Space? I won't even go to California. It's 6 hours. 4.5 hours is my limit on a plane. After that, I turn down the gig. I'm not going.
All right. Hey, we're going to do 15 seconds of fame shortly. So if you want to be heard for 15 seconds, you could start queuing up. We have 9 open lines you're welcome to. 646-720-0635. That's 646-720-0635. And over the weekend, if you care to, you can email me at frank.morano@redappleaudionetworks.com. That's frank.morano@redappleaudionetworks.com. Bill in Grafton, Wisconsin, because I mentioned that we had Anderson Cooper on, he asks, Frank, why are you watching fake news? Let me be very clear. First of all, I don't watch any cable news. This is what's on in the studio. I don't have a control over changing the channel. This is what's on. And you know what else is on? All the other channels. You got Fox, you got MSNBC, you got a local news channel, and you got CNN. So I'm looking up, and there was CNN on one of the 4 TVs that are in here. So
fake news. They're not really in space? Well, they're in Newark.
It's like that movie with OJ and Elliot Gould. Was it Capricorn 1?
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, and then OJ kills him, right? No,
he didn't.
That was
kill
a
him.
different.
OJ
thing.
was nice in all those movies.
He was nice.
Yeah. In fact, he was originally going to be the Terminator before Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Oh, he was the Terminator.
No,
all
but
right.
I'm serious. He was going to be the Terminator, and they were concerned that nobody could believe that OJ would be a killer.
He's Mr. Nice Guy.
Exactly.
Everybody loved OJ.
Exactly.
Heisman Trophy winner. You know, I think if you win the Heisman Trophy, you should be able to kill one person in your life. That comes with the trophy.
But not 2.
Not 2. Not your waiter.
Exactly. All right. We're going to do 15 seconds of fame before we get out of here. You could start queuing up 646-720-0635. You have anything else to say for yourself before we get out of here, Fred?
Go to fredrubino.com. This Saturday, I'll be on Long Island. But Chicago, come out and see me March 29th. I can't wait to come see you guys. Club Onesti. Onesti. Yes, they know it. Arcadia, something. I never get anything right.
All right, well, you know.
I'll be around that area.
All right. Club Onesti. That does sound fun, though. It sounds like a cool joint. I would be there if I could. But wherever you are in the country, if you check out fredrubino.com, that's RUBINO, a whole world opens up. All right, so we really don't need much time for 15 seconds of fame because so far only one person has queued up. So we actually only need 15 seconds. So unless anybody else calls in at 646-720-0635, I will have another minute to talk with Fred Rubino. What else are you doing this weekend besides the Long Island situation?
I am going to celebrate tonight Valentine's Day.
Oh, very nice.
You know,
you going out?
No.
You're not going out.
You know, my wife's flying in today, so we had reservations for dinner, and then she said, you know, I'm going to be tired. Let's just stay home. And I'm like, yeah, give me my money back, baby.
All right, Fred Rubino.
The Other Side of Midnight. This is 15 Seconds of Fame.
Marie.
Freddie, you're funny. You're so funny. They have no eggplant parmesan up in space. But today's Valentine's Day. It happens to be my new baby dog. Penelope is 7 years old. She's a blue-nosed Staffordshire Terrier.
Outstanding.
I found you. I found you, Frank.
Thank you,
But
Marie.
You're not on the radio, honey.
I am just not in New York. John.
Hi, Frank. Miss you on WABC. We found another way to listen to you.
Wonderful. Spread the word for me, John. Spread the word. All right. That's very nice of John. See, short and to the point. You could always find. Seek and you shall find. Who said that? I just did. I don't know who else.
The Bible.
That's right. Frank Morano. Good day.